I'd like to thank people like Candace Parker, who I think is doing a terrific job as she transitions from her playing career to media. People like Roz Goldon-Woode, who's been incredibly welcoming of me and made the job a lot easier. Kristen Ledlow has made my transition radically easier to the media side of things. So for all of you on International Women's Day, thank you very much for all you've done.
It's a day to champion the social, economic, cultural, and political achievement of women around the world. And on NBA TV, we're acknowledging and celebrating the many women in sports media, both in front of and behind the cameras. As we bring visibility to these unique and diverse positions that women hold, we hope to inspire the next generation of girls. There's a place for you in sports media.
I had no idea that there were so many women in sports making moves and making the decisions until I got in the industry, and seeing all the powerful women, either executives or producers, directors, and PR and talent, seeing them is extremely powerful. And I want the next generation to be able to see that.
We have many women that work in many different departments that every day impact our shows, our decision-making, our ideations, and it's been fantastic to tap into that.
My favorite part about the job is being a part of something that's bigger than me. It takes a huge amount of people and teamwork to actually put together each show and event that goes on here at Turner Sports.
No day is ever the same. Every day is different. So I think every day you get to go in and be creative and have a new story or new way to tell a story.
So we got this LA guy for this 3 square.
You want him on the right?
No, he'll, yeah, on the right.
We can have one idea. It may be something that starts small, that we think of in the morning, and by the time it's showtime, something started small can end up to be something fun that touches everybody.
3, 2, and 1.
The return of Steph Curry.
We really embrace, women throughout the organization, and it's not because they're women and we're trying to make, a headline for ourselves. It's because they're very qualified individuals who really know how to do their job and have the same passion that men do in the workforce.
Everyone wants to be here and has worked to be here, and it's not like we expect anything just because we're girls or women. We know that this is what we want to do, and this is our passion, and that it's all worth something.
I want future women to know that, you've got to work for this. It was hard work getting here, but if you have the determination and the go and the know that that's what I want, I'm going to go get it, that's the women that need to be in this industry, the ones that are not going to take no and are going to knock that door down.
Yeah, that's actually my motivation, is kind of being one in a few, or wanting to be one in a few, and to be able to stand out and keep up with the guys and do better than them. It'd be awesome if we, didn't have that precedent and that bar. But it's totally motivating knowing that that we have to fight and we have to grind so hard.
It has to go beyond seeing women in the workplace and has to involve including women in the workplace. It is fine to take the first step of saying, okay, well, let's just get some female voices into the room. The next step and the significant step is, now let's hear from them and let's listen and let's execute their ideas.
When we think about the possible contenders in the Western Conference, I'd give the Thunder the edge, but again, I don't think anyone is.
It's very simple. If your audience is half women, or at least a good percentage of women, you need to look and act like that audience. And I think by not doing it, you're really missing out on a big opportunity that we should not be missing out on.
Women have taken their rightful seat at the sports table, and it just says a lot about where we've come. But I think that we have a long way to go. And it starts with putting women in more power positions and hiring women for more power positions, because that's where the real change starts.
I personally would love to see more women at the top in executive levels and positions, and I'm hoping that in the near future we see our first female commissioner of any major sports league.
There's so many women who are passionate about sports and their careers and who are amazing, so I'd like things to be more balanced and for it to come out of an organic way.
There's not only a certain role that a woman can have. It's every opportunity is open to us. There's so many smart women who are passionate about sports and equally as passionate as their male counterparts.
Celebrating women in sports is is a huge thing, but it's also very important that we understand that this is just one day that we celebrate it. This is done 365. Every day I see it in my role, and the impact that the women are making in this company is second to none.
We work on the highlights every single night, and that's probably the most visible part of sports. Everyone watches highlights, and the fact that we're all women and we're playing a really huge and impactful role in that, I think is just so powerful.
These ladies that I work with, I know that we've all have paved the way. Our hope is that young females can look at us and continue to grow and break through those barriers and continue to work hard and gain the respect that we all deserve.
My hope would be that women just remain encouraged and not discouraged in such a male-dominated field. Learn everything, keep pushing, become the norm, just have an even playing field with others in every aspect of sports.
My hope for the next generation of women is that we, the women that are here now, leave it better than it was for us. That we have knocked down barriers and broken through walls and left a permanent seat at the table for those coming up, that they can just come in and kick ass.
And I've made the point so many times to young women who have asked me that it's such a special time to work in sports media, but especially to work in the game of basketball. Because think about when you were growing up, there weren't very many, if any, to really look toward. And now, if I'm a little girl watching a basketball game, I know I can be on the sidelines. I know I can be an assistant coach, perhaps a head coach someday soon. I know I can be a referee. I know that I can play. I know that I can analyze. I know that I can call a game. So again, it's become a really special time to be a woman in this industry.
I agree with you, Kristen. I think for me, I think about the fact that young girls need to see people that look like them. That's just it, right? And I remember as a young girl, especially as an African-American girl, we didn't have a lot of images on television. You didn't see a lot of black women. I remember seeing like Naomi Campbell as a model in magazines, and that was like a huge deal. But now there's black women on magazines, and so black women on television. And it's just important for young girls, young women to be able to see people that look like them. And then for us as these women that have these opportunity, I'm really thankful for all of the men, because I talked to even with my husband about this, about the fact that we have to be thankful for all the men who are so supportive of us, that give us opportunities, and we create our own opportunities also. But it's a world where we didn't ask to be, you know, just because we're born girls, we deserve a part too. And another thing is all these fathers that are supportive now that they have daughters can see the difference. And some of them have made a lot of changes because they recognize, wow, that's not fair and that's not right, and I want to make sure it's different for my daughter as well.
Well, that being said, Lisa, you two young ladies are that example for my daughter. She's come to work here and says, Dad, I don't want to play basketball. Is there anything else I can do to be around the game? So she started her own photography company. So now she's taking pictures. She's around the game. You've seen her around. She's worked the camera a little bit. So she understands that, hey, I may have grown up around basketball, but Dad, you've never forced me to play. So now I can be around it and be on the backside. Now, Logan, my 13-year-old, now she's the other way around. Now she's just starting to play. She's met you. She's met Candace Park. She's seen you here at work. So now she's like, Dad, you know what? I think I do want to play now. So it's fun to see you guys have set the way for them.
And she's growing too. She's almost
she's already 5'9",
already.
yes.
So, all right.